revoked our clearance. We're being rerouted to another part of the city.
I don't like that. I suppose you can't just ignore them.
Yeah, right. Chinese government. I've got to comply. Bravo Echo Echo 008, proceeding to designated coordinates. What the hell? We've got a SAM locked on our tail. Jensen, all systems are down. Hang on, we're going in hard. Stop, Jensen!
Malik, we've...
Okay, so what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back. I wanted to pause here because I'm gonna show you multiple outcomes for this section. This is the big section that I was talking about, and there's a few things that you could do differently. Now, you guys know me. I'm Sinister 1. I have a heart, and I want to save everyone that I can. That is the route that we're going to take here. So we're going to do that, and then we are going to save. Then we're going to come back to this save point, and then I'm going to show you what could happen if you do not do what I believe to be right. So if you're going for speedrun, probably you wouldn't go for this route. But of course, welcome back again to more Deus Ex Human Revolution. So I'm gonna go ahead and shave. We'll create, excuse me, this new save point right here, so that way I can remember what it is, and it is called, it's save number 28. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to go in here and we're going to take out every single enemy soldier. We're going to do this non-lethally. Don't worry about it being hostile. This is like one of the sections in the game where you can have hostile on you and it does not affect your stealthiness or anything like that. So with that being said, here we go. Alright, so first things first, use a cyber bar.
I know, but the bird took some damage. Gonna need to patch it up before I can go.
I'll stay and cover you.
Negative. You need to get away from here and find Dr. Shchenko. I'll be fine.
Don't be a sitting duck.
Maybe, maybe not. But this is your best chance to slip by them unnoticed, and you know it. So get out of here.
So, my B button is not working. There it goes, finally. I kept hitting B and it would not do anything, so sometimes it's a little finicky. Alright, next thing you gotta hurry up and do this. Get out your EMP. Alright, so we are 100% good to go. Don't worry about anything now. With these last two guys, it's pretty simple and easy. Last thing is tranquilize this last guy. And you'll see that that's it. Now we just need to go around and check to make sure that none of them are actually dead.
Jensen, the bird's fixed and I'm taking off. Now get on with the damned mission. And thanks, bye boy.
As long as they say Z, you are good to go and you don't have to worry about it. You'll still be able to get your pacifist. That's a very, very important issue, is to make sure that they are alive and it says Z. You could potentially really, really screw yourself over if you do not do that. We know that these guys should be alive because they were nowhere near the robot. The robot is what kind of causes people to blow up. Also, sometimes the enemies can blow themselves up by barrels, by shooting barrels and things like that. It's actually quite hilarious. But it does count against you, so... Alright, so everybody is alive. So congratulations, you have done it. Now, there's different ways that you could go about doing it, and I'm about to sneeze and I apologize. Excuse me. There's different ways that you could have done it. This is just one of many ways. You can go from the left side, you can go from the right side. But you want to, whatever you do, you want to take out the heavy armored guys as much as possible quickly. Those guys there. You'll see the guy up here that had like the bigger, heavier weapon up here. Those guys are the ones that you want to take out quickly. So you want to make sure that there are no enemies whatsoever around the robot when he is right here. And, well, you should be good to go. It might take you a few times to get it, but you should have it. So that is what you need to do in order to keep Malik alive. And you get a achievement for actually keeping her alive. And then you'll enter here and you can go forward. So we're going to stop right here. And I'm going to go ahead and save. We will do a... Yep, save 29 here. So now I know which one to go back to. So now we're going to go back to 28. And we're going to sneak around and I'm going to show you what happens if you decide not to help her out. There's actually 2 different ways that it could end. So let's do it.
Malik, we've got company.
I know, but the bird took some damage. Gonna need to patch it up before I can go.
I'll stay and cover you.
Negative. You need to get away from here and find Dr. Savchenko. I'll be fine.
You'll be a sitting duck.
Maybe, maybe not. But this is your best chance to slip by them unnoticed, and you know it. So get out of here, Jensen. You'll pay for this.
Again, so this is what happens if you sneak by them.
Malik?
Just find Vasily. Jensen, keep them safe.
Bye-bye, asshole!
Go to hell.
You bastard! Farida!
Round him and take him down. Roger that, sir. He has to be around here.
And there you go. So that is just one of 2. The other one is before you actually get to the elevator, they just blow her up and she dies. So it's like here we got to the elevator quick enough to where she wasn't dead yet, so we saw that cutscene. However, that won't normally happen if you get there a little bit later, and she'll already be dead. But I just wanted to show you both options. So we're gonna load up. We're gonna load up here where we did our previous save. So we are back now to where we took all the soldiers out. And if you actually listen to the director's commentary, it tells you that the guy that actually shot her could change. He's the guy that you saw in the cutscene where you snuck through the hive instead of actually talking to the bartender. If you remember the guy that was in the office with him, you know, he's that same guy. So I just wanted to kind of show you that and just, you know, let you know that there are different things for everything. The game really just thought of, you know, pretty much everything. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. We did not take out any soldiers as far as lethal, so again, this is the only part in the main story where I'm actually going to take out soldiers. Other than that, we are going to start back up with complete Ghost again. This is the only time I decided to we wanted to save her. She has been a big part of
Jensen,
this story so far.
I've been monitoring calm activity around Hengsha. Bell Tower's looking for you. Hard.
I know. They ambushed us, Pritchard. Forced us to make an emergency landing. Malik barely got away in time.
But they're supposed to be...
The good guys?
Just give them a wide berth, Jensen. If they recognize you, they'll shoot.
Alright, so now you also notice that you will not get Ghost or Smooth Operator. You will get Ghost or Smooth Operator if you sneak by and then you let Malik die. But don't worry, that does not affect your rating at the end when you are going for your pacifist. So don't let that discourage you from saving Malik. It's still a very good thing to do. Now, another thing that could change off is later on in the story, you'll see Malik's body because she's dead. However, you will not see it here because she obviously, well, she didn't die. So, you know, story things change. I definitely recommend you guys listening to those developer diaries commentary because it's really great information if you're a huge fan of the series. So with that being said, it is time to actually get back into Hengsha. We have 2, that's right, we're going to do both of these side missions in this video. It's going to be another long video already, as you can tell, and let's do this. This is going to be fun. Once you're in the story, not be able to return, you sure you want to leave. I don't know why they would even implement that because there's no reason to come back here as there's pretty much nothing left. So now we're going to be back in Hengsha. And yeah, so we got 2 side missions to do, And then the next video after that will complete Hengsha with the main story mission. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far, and of course thank you for, you know, all the love and support. Don't forget to leave a like if you appreciate the walkthrough and if you're enjoying it, of course. But also enemies, they're more onto us now, so you have to worry about that too. And you can see some things are going on, some weird things. You see it says alarmed. We need to stay away from most of
Jensen, it's
Bell
Pritchard.
Tower.
Have you been watching the news?
Been a bit busy, Francis.
Jensen, the World Health Organization is advising all augmented patients to check in with Lim. There's a problem with biochip technology.
The glitches I've been experiencing.
We've all had them. So far, I can't determine why.
You heading to a clinic?
I'm running a few more tests. But since I can't exactly run them on you, and we don't know when you'll be back, you might not want to wait. Up to you.
Alright, so you can see where we are again. What we need to do is head to the Lim Clinic. Tell you where everything is here. There's only 2 side missions that you can do. You do want to hurry up through this. As long as you continually move, you don't have to worry about them
So I imagine VersaLife's got
messing with you.
on things. Think they'll give up all that money?
Elizabeth Duclair, spokeswoman for the WHO.
We'll go down. There are guards around here that you want to stay clear of, so. This will also open up a secondary side quest mission once you go in here. So go ahead, and you actually get a cutscene too, so you don't have to do this. That's what's great about this game, is there's things that you don't have to do. You don't have to go and do this. However, you're going to still see problems throughout the rest of the game with your augmentations and stuff, so it's more beneficiary to do it, of course.
You're here for recall? There is problem with the peripheral nerve interface. We fixed with upgraded chip. You want it, yes?
Yeah, name's Jensen.
I will tell surgery. You buy something else?
Alright, we got 14,000. We have enough to get 2 of those. Why not? Not that we ever need them, but they're still good to have. We haven't had any of these yet. Why don't we go ahead and get them? Alright.
I'm ready.
Remember, that is completely optional and you don't have to do that. Now let's move on to the our first side mission here.
Excuse me, Mr. Jensen? I am not mistaken. You are Mr. Jensen, right?
That depends. Who's asking?
I am sorry, Mr. Jensen. I am being impolite. My name is Wing Hui. I am a doctor here.
I can see that. What I really meant to ask is, how do you know who I am?
Yes, of course. Excuse me, for I am a bit nervous. Bell Tower agents were here a while ago, looking for a man who fits your description. When I heard what they were saying of you, it occurred to me that you might be exactly the person I need.
Need for what, exactly? Tread carefully, Doc, because I'm about 1 step away from losing my patients here.
No, please, you misunderstand. I only wish to talk to you about something. And it is not an easy subject to discuss, as it is a rather sensitive matter. Truly, Mr. Jensen, I would never force anyone to do something against their will. On that, you have my word.
Glad to hear it. So what's this all about then?
I'm afraid I won't be able to go into very much details. Not before I know you are really willing to help. But I need someone to help me to stop a very dangerous augmented soldier, and possibly his squad mates. If everything Bell Tower said of you is true, then you would seem the good fit for this job.
Fine, I'll do it. Just tell me more.
Thank you. Now please, understand that I am to give you sensitive information on multiple parties.
I understand, Doc. You can count on my discretion.
I appreciate it, Mr. Jensen. Obviously, you are familiar with Bell Tower and the role they have in this city. What you may not be familiar with, however, is the fact that sometimes they contract limb doctors like myself to work in private clinics on special projects.
What kind of special projects?
What you Americans call black operations. Bell Tower selects some of their best soldiers and make them to be super augmented with experimental, top-secret hardware.
Not to sound too jaded, Doc, but none of that comes as a big surprise. Stuff like that's been going on for years.
Yes. Your government and mine have both been guilty of this practice, I am sure. But Bell Tower is not a government. They are a private corporation. A private army on sale to the highest bidder.
Is this about stopping Bell Tower, then? Because as much as I might hate them right now, I'm only one man.
No. It is not all of Bell Tower I need help with. It is just one of their covert operatives, a man named Michael Zelazny. He was implanted with experimental hardware, and to an extent that is way beyond legal regulations. I am ashamed to say I have operated on him myself, and he has been used in countless secret operations for the Chinese and others.
Sounds like the type of man you don't want to see going out of control.
Precisely. Yet, about a month ago, I have heard rumors that Mr. Zelazny and part of his unit had gone rogue. And 2 weeks later, a city official was killed in a perfectly staged operation. I am certain it was them. And then, a few days ago, Mr. Zelazny contacted me himself. He needed urgent help with one of his squad mates' augmentations.
I take it you said you would help.
They sent me to the back store of a meat shop near Pandang Road, in the Yutzao district. There, I performed emergency repairs on one of the agent's AUGs, a servo replacement. I believe this back store is their hideout, Mr. Jensen. You must go there and make Mr. Zelazny hear reason.
I'll do what I can.
I am sure you are up to the task. Mr. Zelazny is a soldier, not a maniac. Your unique situation will no doubt resonate with him. And if things do turn sour and he must be terminated, I think you are quite a good candidate to get it done. Or at least survive.
Alright, so we've opened up the first section for our side mission. And now we're actually going to head to the... it's kind of weird. We're going to be mixing these two side missions just because it's going to make getting to the next mission make more sense, I guess you could say. And I still get lost when I'm going around these areas. It's hilarious. So we're going to head pretty much back up right. We need to go into the next district. Remember, just get out of his main eyesight fast enough, and then you shouldn't have to worry about him seeing you too bad. Alright, so where we're going now, actually, is not there. Gotta love that right there. I think it's this way. Yeah. This is going to open up the secondary side mission. So when I'm opening up this secondary side mission, we're going to go ahead and start that one as well. Then we're going to come back and, well, and start completing the first one. I know it's a little bit weird and out of order, but these two missions, I'm doing this way because we need to come back over to here again in order to head to the actual mission of the game.
Mr. Jensen, Hugh Darrow here. Please forgive this intrusion, but David assured me of your cooperation and discretion. I find myself in need of some assistance.
I'm listening.
A contact of mine, Meng Yao, is in Hengsha, waiting to fill you in. I'll upload her coordinates now.
Alright, so let's go ahead and read the Pocket Secretary. So he feels the location along Seclarius. He's planning to move down below. So let that be like kind of a little bit of a clue to you on where you can find him. Obviously, it's going to be in the sewers. But since we're already in this section, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the secondary side mission, which, believe it or not, is actually where you can finish the first one. Again, there's always a reason that I am putting you where I'm putting you. So here is the second side mission.
Mr. Jensen, right? Thank you for your time. I am Meng Yao, an associate of Mr. Darrow's. I'm in charge of one of his divisions here in Hengsha. You come highly recommended.
Really?
Your boss described you as a most precious asset. Apparently, you are very efficient and always get the job done. We could definitely use a man like you for this operation.
Let's hope his confidence is well placed then.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Mr. Darrow doesn't trust just anyone. We need you to help us stop a group of terrorists who are threatening the Panchaea project. It is not an easy task. Are you sure you are up to it?
Okay, I'll help out.
Excellent. Here's the situation. It has come to our attention that these terrorists possess highly classified proprietary information about Panchaea. We've been able to convince them to sell it to one of our agents, a man named Lo Fei. The meeting is supposed to take place near the Alice Garden pods in the Daigong district.
And you want me to crash this meeting?
Actually, there will not be a meeting. We are sending you alone to ensure Mr. Fei's safety. The terrorists will not be expecting that, and will have the information with them on a data chip. You have to neutralize all of the sellers and retrieve the chip so you can bring it to me.
I don't get it. If Faye set up the meeting, why risk sending me in his stead? Why doesn't he or even some of your other agents drop in on the sellers and take the chip?
Because Mr. Darrow wants an absolute guarantee that there will be no casualties. We will not play by their rules. We want them arrested and questioned, then properly prosecuted and sentenced. This will require stealth and efficiency. That's why a man with your particular skills will be indispensable.
Anything else I need to know?
The sellers are expecting Mr. Fei and Mr. Fei alone. If they spot you, they will shoot on sight. Need I point out this might make your job a lot harder?
Story of my life.
Alright, so we got the information for both side missions, so now we just need to go back right where we came from. And we're heading over to the same location to actually complete both side missions. And that is why I decided to do both of those at the same time, just because it all kind of fits together, and you know, less backtracking of going back and forth between each section. So we're heading over to the Alice Pod Gardens, which I usually end up getting lost. So hopefully I won't. That's right, we do have to go through this little blockade here.
I won't say it again.
You shouldn't be here.
But if you hurry up, you should be fine.
Get out here.
You shouldn't be here, sir.
This and here it is, alright. Alright, so we are going to save when we get down here, because this is where the magic is going to happen. Oh, looks like we got an auto save, but we're going to go ahead and save regular here too. Hopefully everything's still running good on the recording. Alright, so first things first, we're going to get out our trank. And it's time to take care of business. First thing is first is take him out. We got this guy, so we're just gonna let him get a little bit closer, just so we don't have to waste too much. And we're good to go. Alright, so all that's left now is for us to rebuild. I forgot that I still had it on. So we'll go ahead and use an energy bar since we got plenty of them. Hey guys, what's up? And that's how you can do that completely stealthy without having to worry about any of them. Okay, let's get him out of there so he doesn't drown. I don't know if that's a possibility, but I would really not want him to drown. If you know what I mean. Because then that would mean death. Alright, we're good to go. So now we just need to go to right here. And down here is where we're going to be completing our first side mission. Make 2 lefts. And there they are. Just because you need to do certain things as far as speaking goes, you know, this is a speaking one where you're going to need to use your pheromones and stuff. We're going to go ahead and save here, and then we'll continue on.
They send you?
If you're talking about your former buddies at Bell Tower, the answer is no.
Wait a minute. You're Jensen, right? I heard that some of my former buddies have been looking for you.
I always show you each response so that way you can see at least what would happen or what he would say, but we're going to go with inquisitive.
Could be. What's it to you?
When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong.
You've dropped the merc gig to become a man of the cloth?
Hardly. I just have an interest in theology. And I love quoting the book. Everything in it is so evocative. Now, tell me, are you here to stop me?
Not exactly. I'm here on behalf of someone who wants you to understand reason.
Let me guess. Dr. Wing, right? He's a good man. And I know he's only trying to do what he thinks is right. But he doesn't quite grasp the whole picture here.
Then why don't you enlighten me? Start by explaining why you went rogue.
When an average man decides he no longer shares his employer's views and opts to leave, we say he's handing in his resignation. When men like us do the same, it's called going rogue. You can't quit a job like ours, Jensen. You know that.
Yeah, okay, I can relate. But you still haven't answered my question. And what do you mean when you say you no longer share your employer's view?
Back in the US, when I first got into the Army, I did it because I wanted to serve my country. I believed in its values. I believed in its government. Back then, I believed that by serving my government, I was serving the people it was supposed to protect.
Nice sentiment. But you don't work for the US anymore, you work for Bell Tower.
Times change, Jensen. You know the story. Capitalism's final encroachment on one of the most lucrative industries in the history of mankind. War got privatized. The US military offloaded its special operations to PMCs like Blue Water Global and Bell Tower. I believed that as long as they were working for the government, they were serving the same cause. So when they offered me the chance to work on major operations at twice the pay grade, I made my jump.
So as you can see, you can fight if you want to.
Why don't we just skip to when things went sour?
Bell Tower outfitted us with top-notch augmentations. The kind of stuff civilians never hear about. Gave us a massive edge over the enemy. Later, seeing as my unit was one of the most successful ones, they selected us for a special program. Top secret, experimental tech. Told us we would get to work on critical black ops for the US government. But there was a price to pay.
Go on.
We had to be implanted with a neural hub that manipulates memory centers in the brain. Basically controlling what you can and cannot remember.
And you agreed to this?
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. The augmentation was supposed to keep us safe, make sure we'd never remember details if we fell behind enemy lines. That was the main function. The second one, the one they didn't tell us about, was to lower our inhibitions, make us more receptive to orders we'd likely disobey. Bell Tower turned us into the perfect mercs.
If you were so perfect, and the hub made you so perfect, how did it fail? How come they didn't outfit the whole agency?
I told you the tech was experimental. After a couple of ops, I started experiencing memory shifts, remembering bits and fragments of past operations. Slowly, I realized some of these operations couldn't logically have been orchestrated by the government. I was asked to do highly questionable things, even by professional standards.
Aren't we all?
Not like this, Jensen. Our services have been sold to corrupt officials in the American and Chinese governments. A combination of lies and use of the neural aug made sure we complied. We were working for a shadow government. Individuals corrupted by a quest for personal power.
So how'd you get out of it?
I confronted the project director. He quoted Apocalypse Now. You have to have men who are moral, and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling. I forced him to disconnect the hub, for me and my squad mates here. And then I killed him. I went through his files and contacts. I know who these corrupt men are now. They've turned us into killing machines, and now they'll get to experience their experiment firsthand.
Listen, I have no doubt these men deserve to die. But you can't simply pass judgment on people. Nothing gives you that right. You have to turn yourself in. Play this by the book.
I'm afraid that's impossible. These men I killed, and these men I'm going to kill, they have names, families. Their deaths shouldn't be erased from my memory by some electronic software. They should haunt me, taunt me, until I finally meet our Lord and pay for my sins. But the men behind this, they deserve to die. And I think there's poetry in the fact that they engineered their own demise.
Alright, so this is when you can use your pheromones here. He is obviously, he's appeased, right? Because you saw his last alpha pheromones. So we're going to appease. Not that it's going to make a difference anyways.
Listen, nobody here is saying you're wrong to think these men deserve to pay. I agree with you. But make them pay in accordance to the law, not by breaking it.
It's a cute little toy you have there, Jensen. But don't waste your time. Your Cassie won't work on me.
So, you can't do the Cassie, but at least it gave you that extra optional conversation. But we're not going to find him, we're going to let him go.
I think you're wrong. But I don't think it's my place to try to stop you either. Do what you have to do.
I appreciate that, Jensen. I didn't want you to die for a cause that isn't yours.
Oh, I would have killed you. So don't you worry about that. But, you know, obviously, they just disappear, like, out of nowhere. I find that hilarious. Okay. So we're going to head back up. We need to finish the first side quest by talking with the doctor. And then we can finish the second side quest while we head on to our mission.
Hey, Jensen. Zelazny here.
Zelazny? How'd you get this frequency?
You're no stranger to top-secret augmentations, Jensen. You figure it out. In the meantime, just want to let you know I've contacted some of my old pals at Bell Tower. Got them to reassign a couple of local patrols. You should have a few less problems to deal with for a while.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Alright. You can see we're pretty much back where we started.
That is far enough. Get back.
So we're heading to the limb clinic.
Stay here. Get moving.
Again, just keep going. This is a little bit of a laggy spot.
Too late to hide.
You shouldn't be here. Get
Remember,
moving.
keep moving. Do not stop for a long period of time, because if you do, you will screw yourself over, yeah.
Have been flooding in from around the globe.
Alright, we're fine.
Elizabeth Duclair, spokeswoman for the WHO, confirms that the cause of these disruptions has been
Alright, so we're going to finish this one up, and then we are going to head back to the other section where we talk to that female to finish hers up, and then that'll be it for the video. We'll end it, and then we're going to be heading on with the main mission. And we'll do that full main mission in one video.
So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
I found him.
Really, Mr. Jensen? You have been able to make him understand reason? Will he turn himself in?
It's a long story, Doc. I tracked Zelazny and his men. They were hiding in the sewers. And after talking to him, I decided to let him go.
What? But he is a dangerous man, Mr. Jensen. You should not have done this.
The men Zelazny's after are far more dangerous than he is. His methods are extreme, but I think his cause is justified. To be honest, Doc, I believe what he wants isn't that different from you. An honorable government free of corruption. They could use a man like you.
I had not foreseen such a thing. I don't know, Mr. Jensen. You seem to believe that the end justifies the means, but I don't know. I'll have to think about this. Here is a praxis kit. It's all I have.
Alright, another Praxis kit. We have 16 Praxis kits available, wow. It's crazy, huh? Alright, so let's head over to the other side. Talk to the female, and we can actually get some more information out of her because of our speech augmentation. Such a fun game to play, and I hope that Mankind Divided. I got to play a little bit, but not enough to really get that assessment if it's going to play the same way that this game does. Because it was the beginning tutorial level, and there wasn't a lot of talking and conversing and socialness. But I'm hoping. But I guess we'll find out.
returning to tonight's biggest story. The world unprecedented recall on augmentation technology.
So right now we are heading back over to where we entered the first time when we talked to the lady. And that will take us exactly where we need to go for our first actual mission here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. It's been fun trying to figure out different ways to sneak by, using different methods, only getting the augments that I need instead of just a bunch of different random ones that I don't need. And that's, I think, been really fun to figure out. And here we go.
You must get that chip back, Mr. Jensen.
I got the chip. The sellers are out cold.
Excellent work. Seems Mr. Darrow was right to trust you. We will send people to take care of the terrorists. Could I see the chip?
How about you tell me what's on it first?
Blackmail, Mr. Jensen? Don't waste your time. I won't tell you anything. Besides, there are stones better left unturned. Might as well just give me the chip and leave it at that.
Alright, so if you actually paid attention to the Alpha, Beta, Omega, you could see that the only thing that appeared was Beta. So Beta is here, so you know that we need to charm her in order to get the information, which I find hilarious. She says, "I will not tell you." but then you do this and she just spills her guts.
Look, you're a powerful young woman. You're in a position that warrants your access to classified information. I understand that not everybody should get their hands on this, but I'm like you. I work for a powerful man, and I get entrusted with secret information on a daily basis. Plus, I'm the one who busted his ass getting this chip for you.
I guess your point is not entirely without merit. But understand, this information is extremely confidential. It concerns Panchaea, and more specifically, the Hiron Project.
Hiron Project? Never heard of it.
I'm not surprised. It is a well-guarded secret. But without it, Panchaea could not exist. Such an ambitious project. An installation extending all the way to the ocean floor. The pressure exerted against it is constantly shifting. Yet the slightest defect in structural integrity could bring it all down. That's why we needed something powerful and extremely efficient to monitor it, day and night.
You're saying the Hiron Project is some kind of advanced computer?
Yes, I suppose you could say that.
Thank you for your honesty. The information is safe with me, don't worry. Here's your data chip.
Ah, perfect. You don't know what this means, Mr. Jensen. Your help has been invaluable. Thank you. Even though this was a favor for Mr. Darrow, he believes you should be duly rewarded. Here is a payment in credits. I'm sure Mr. Darrow will wish to congratulate you himself. Expect to hear from him soon.
Congratulations, you have done it. Alright guys, so let's listen to Hugh Darrow.
It seems David has a flair for choosing his people, Mr. Jensen. You have done me a great service today.
Glad I could help. Couldn't let information about something as sensitive as the Hiron Project get in the hands of the wrong people.
No. No, we couldn't. So, Meng Yao told you about the project, I see.
A little.
I'm afraid words can't do it justice. To fully comprehend the ramifications of what's been created in Panchaea, you'd have to see it for yourself. And who knows? Perhaps one day you will.
Alright, so if you actually go right below us is where we would enter, but you can't enter because those guys are violent right now. So you can actually take the other route, which is right here, and this will be a more stealthier route, so entrance to the Harvester hideout, which we will be doing in the next video. We're going to be doing the whole entirety, finishing up Hengsha in this next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the walkthrough, and of course I will see you on the next one. Peace out, bitches!